It's a plan that will save or create 3 to 4 million jobs over the next few years, and one that recognizes both the paradox and the promise of this moment. The fact that there are millions of Americans trying to find work, even as all around the country, there's so many folks who've given up trying to get it. They say we're trying to do too much, that we're moving too quickly, and that we all ought to just take a deep breath and scale back our goals. Small business owners trying to make a living and do right by the people they employ. There are those who are focused on the so-called politics of healthcare, who are trying to exploit differences or concerns for political gain. Not surprisingly, lobbyists for big Wall Street banks are hard at work trying to stop reforms that would hold them accountable, and they want to keep things just the way they are. And many more are discouraged from even trying because of the crushing costs of healthcare. Costs that have forced too many small businesses to cut benefits, shed jobs, or shut their doors for good.
Grandparents and relatives who step in to care for wounded warriors, and folks trying to carry on after losing the person they loved most in the world. And through it all, these families...
Now, like clockwork, the banks and the politicians who curry their favor are already trying to stop this fee from going into effect. I want to see this meeting turn into political theater, with each side simply reciting talking points and trying to score political points. Now, over the last few days, BP has placed a cap over the well, and it appears they're making some progress in trying to pump oil to the surface to keep it from leaking into the water. But too often, the Republican leadership in the United States Senate, that's what we're trying to do with the Small Business Jobs Act, a bill that has been praised as being good for small businesses by groups like the Chamber of Commerce and the National Federation of Independent Business. We've devoted new resources to job training and placement. I've directed the federal government to hire more veterans. It's going to make a difference for a couple in Florida earning about $50,000 and trying to put one of their 2 kids through college.
I've gotten to know husbands and wives doing the parenting of 2 while their spouse is on another deployment. Children trying their best in school but always wondering when mom or dad is coming home. Patriots putting their lives on hold to help with a loved one's recovery or carry on the memory of a fallen hero.
We all have friends and neighbors trying to get their lives back on track, who are trying to start the next Intel or just get a small business of their own off the ground. I'll be meeting with some of these men and women next week in Cleveland. And at a time when folks across this country are struggling to make ends meet, and many families are just trying to get by on one paycheck after a job loss, it's a reminder that achieving equal pay for equal work isn't just a women's issue. You see people trying to grab headlines or score a few points,